Hope Revived 2022 is here, and we are here with Amanda Tornberg. And Amanda and I actually grew up next door to each other years ago. We were real young,
Little.
like 5 or 6, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember one time, like, because there was nobody around where we lived. Like, we were in the middle of nowhere in Delhi, Louisiana.
Right.
And we would always go hang out together and play. And I remember one time I wanted to go hang out with you, but Dad said I had to finish my roast beef. And you probably don't know anything about this, but Mom had cooked like the most non-tender roast beef. And so I literally shoved it all in my mouth and chewed it until it looked like it was gone. And I ran over to your house chewing it. And I think I spit it out on the way. Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's a great opening story. Hey, welcome y'all to Time Out Tuesday.
yeah. Yeah, so we do a Time Out Tuesday, and this time we're doing it with Amanda and Hope Revived. And Amanda is one of the co-founders of a cool ministry in Longview called Graciously Broken Ministries. And so I've heard a lot about it through family, and my mom and your mom are obviously still in contact with each other regularly. So tell us a little bit about your backstory and how that all started.
Okay. I come from a history of addiction. So I spent several years in addiction, and God delivered me from that. Thank God to him. But I began to get involved in church in a ministry we had called Celebrate Recovery. I don't know if y'all have heard of that, but it's a really good ministry for those who are struggling with different types of issues, not just addiction. But through that ministry, I met a lady named Amanda, and we just became quick friends. So 2 Amandas, easy enough, right? Not hard to forget. But we became friends really quickly. She leads worship, and I would teach, and so we began to do ministry together. We went to other kind of places similar to ours and led recovery out there, where she would do worship and I would teach lessons. And over that time, we saw a lot of things that weren't done necessarily well, but we knew that there was a need for that in Longview. And so we just thought, well, that would be really cool to do. But if you know us, then you know that we're the least likely people that we think that God would use. And so we're like, that's a great idea. Someone should do that. Probably not us. But it was probably 18 months. We would still periodically mention it when we were riding together, but not go any further than that. And then one day it was almost like God said, now's the time. And from that moment on, he just began to blow doors open. And there's not enough time to tell you all the crazy ways he moved through that process. But we're just celebrated our 6 years in existence. So it's been a wild ride.
Awesome. It's funny you say that, Amanda, because in so many different ways, I can relate to that. And Scotty Blackwell, one of my best friends, who's going to be leading worship one night at Revival, he and I grew up together. And you and I grew up in church. I mean, we knew where we were supposed to be, but we made some bad choices. And so the fact that me and you and my buddy Scotty are all in ministry in and of itself is just proof of God's grace and mercy and what he can do. So the whole point of Hope Revived is stories like yours, where we see people, coming out of, it can be addiction, but it might just be, a bad divorce, or it could be a lifestyle that they never really heard about Christ.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even what we've seen a lot of in our church personally, and I know Caleb can testify this, is stagnancy in faith. And stagnancy in pursuing holiness, stagnancy in growing spiritually. And Hope Revives have provided a great opportunity for our church, many members of our church, to have a renewed grasp on what it means to grow spiritually.
Yeah.
So,
And much like your ministry, you know, what we've seen God do through that is, and through this event, is bring people in that may not darken the doors of the church, or, you know, because we try not to approach it in the standard way. When everybody hears revival, they think
It's
of
a scary word.
yeah, it's an event. It's, you know, in the Southern Baptist, you know, tradition, it's an event. It's not an action. And so we want it to be a change. We want it to be lived out. Amanda, what would you say is y'all's primary? Is it primarily women that y'all are reaching, or do y'all have avenues where you reach men too, or
No, that's on our vision board, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
Right now, minister to women.
okay?
So, yeah, we're fixing to, in September, we're fixing to start a day program for women who can't commit to a year and maybe doesn't need that extensive treatment,
Right.
but can come get help and healing, right? And
Right.
hope, which is what
Right.
we all ways. So,
Absolutely. But we're excited that you're going to be here. You're actually going to be here with us Sunday. We're doing kind of a kickoff to Hope Revived, and Amanda's going to be here. We're going to have a panel of people, some who have been involved in the past 2 years and seen some life changes from it, and a couple of people who just have testimonies of hope that we know, and then a couple of ministries that haven't been a part of it, like yours. Ben Waits, if he ends up seeing this, may not know that he's on the panel yet, but he's going to be on the panel. He's a Southern gospel singer who is wheelchair bound because of a condition that he has, and he's not a paraplegic. He can feel everything. He told us one time, "If you kick me, I'll kick you back." But he is wheelchair bound, and he has this amazing voice, this amazing heart. So he'll be a part of that panel, and we're just gonna talk about hope and talk about what it means to be revived. What else, Matt?
I think Amanda's ministry is going to be there. We have a couple of other ministries that are going to be a part of. I know that you have several other Zoom calls that you're arranging over the course of this week.
Right.
But specifically with Time Out Tuesday, I know that we said we were going to do this at the outset when we were planning the meeting. Amanda, Time Out Tuesday is a little silly.
Yeah, we can be a little fun with it.
Fun with it.
We tie-dyed a shirt one time, 2 men tie-dyeing a shirt without experience. It was horribly.
We learned.
We learned. We didn't lose. We learned. Yeah.
So, Amanda, tell us an interesting personal fact about yourself. Maybe something that people wouldn't expect from you, or people don't know maybe about you, or something that's not, maybe a hobby that people wouldn't think you would be interested in. Maybe an interest that you have that's a little bit outside of the norm.
Like if you collect pennies from 1976, I don't, whatever.
Yeah, that would be odd. That would be odd. It doesn't have to be that weird, Amanda.
I'll tell you, I don't share this often, but for those who know me, this would not be something that would be a norm for me. But I am a secret fan of Cher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. That is okay.
So when we do walkout songs for the Hope Revive panel,
yeah, now we have an intro for Amanda.
Cher song.
Yes, I would love it.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, so we're gonna pretty much wrap it up. We wanted to make it brief and light and fun, and I can't wait to see you. It's been years since we've seen each other. The last time we saw each other was not a good situation, because neither one of us were probably where we should have been. But God delivered us from that moment and just did something that we never expected with our lives, and he keeps doing cool things. So I'm excited to see you and the family, and I know my dad may even come and see Mr. Randy. I think he said he might come if Dad was going to be here. So anyway, yeah,
it's awesome.
Right.
So hey, and Amanda, you had to be brief. I know, just for time constraints. Really, this is me talking to Amanda, talking to Caleb, talking to general audience. If you're watching this on Time Out Tuesday, I know Amanda has 1,000 other things that she could have said over the course of this meeting, and 1,000 other areas of ministry kind of that they focus in on when it comes to women's ministry. I know y'all have a broad reach with the ministry that y'all do. So if you want to have conversations about how you can support that ministry, come join us Sunday. we'd love to offer that
Yeah.
for y'all to talk to Amanda and have those longer form conversations.
For sure. And Amanda will have some information that you can take with you. I'm sure her and her mom, who are both involved in the ministry, would be happy to talk to you. If you know someone going through some struggles, a woman going through some struggles, or you yourself are, there is no pride that you need to bring to the table. Just let it go and be real. And you guys, I know, can step in that area. So it's been great.
Yeah.
Look forward.
All right. Any other questions, Amanda? We can kind of do one of these things, I think, because we're pretty much done with our normal stuff.
Yeah, we want to get together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's edit that out.
Yeah, we
Unless you
will.
just want to do.
But I'm excited. So thank y'all for thinking of us.
All right.
Carving time out this morning, Amanda. Great to meet you. Looking
Yeah.
forward to
You too.
Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.